How would an extra $100,000 per year affect your life, right? And most people have to grind really hard to make that sort of money. I get it, but what if you only had to spend 1 hour every single day, let's say 5 days a week? That's realistic, right? I have projects where I spend 1 hour a month and I make $6,000 a month on that project. And that's one project of many. So in this video, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the goal to spend 1 hour a day to make $100,000 a year. And what we're going to do is use the deeper method. The deeper method is a 5 foundational. So there's 5 things here, 5 main foundations that you have to understand in order to have any success to make $100,000 a year. I've helped a lot of people do this themselves. This is a very straightforward path. This is the book that I wrote. It was like a year or two ago I wrote this book. And here is the deeper method. So you have to understand this right here. I'll make it zoom in. Do you see it? You have to understand these 5 principles. So anytime someone comes online, they're going to do what? They're going to be doing one of these 5 principles. And if we can figure out which ones of these to attack, which one of these segments to really go after, we can make serious money. So the goal is spend 1 hour a day to make $100,000 per year. What does that come out to? That's about $8,000 a month, and you're spending about 20 hours a month doing this. I think that's reasonable. That's a good side hustle. And what happens is, this is the cool part, right? What happens is when people get to this level, they obviously are going to scale it because it's very, very exciting. And all of a sudden, 100,000 turns into more and more. And all of a sudden, you're making more than a doctor and a lawyer, and you have a lifestyle that is much better than that. So what we're going to go over is the deeper method, which is just a simple way to remember the 5 main motivations driving nearly every single Google search. Now, there is criteria for this video that I should have written down, but I'll tell you it right now. To do this properly, to do most of the methods on this channel, you need a computer, you need internet, and you need a website. And what we are trying to do here is to attract people who are on Google. They're typing in something into Google to come to our website, right? That's the goal. That is always the goal, right? So the deeper method, number 1 is decision making. So these are the 5 core principles. Number 1 core principle is decision making. So some people, when they use Google, they are going to compare options before they buy or choose a thing. So these are 5 avatars, right? Decision making is the first avatar. Examples is best laptops under $1,000 or iPhone versus Android. I highlighted this one in yellow because it's an excellent one. This one right here, we should even make it bigger. Decision making avatars is where so much money is. Now you're going to see further in this video, some of the avatars are terrible, especially because AI is here right now. You'll see this, but this one's really good. Number 2 is entertainment. So what it is, people are looking to be amused or distracted. They're doom scrolling, right? I'm typing into YouTube fun office pranks. This is not really good. I put it in red. It used to be good. It used to be good before AI came around. AI has really saturated things. You can do it, but there's a caveat I'll get into later. I've made a lot of money in this niche, and I'll talk about it in a bit. Number 3 is education. This YouTube channel is education. What it is, people wanting to learn a new skill or topic, how to knit a scarf, SEO tutorial for beginners, and how to do it. Provide clear step-by-step guides, tutorials, video lessons. This is a good one too. So we're going to make this one bigger. Education. So the first one was what? Decision making. When someone's ready to buy a thing, great. When someone is looking to learn a thing. Now, you can have some problem in education we'll talk about in a bit, but I still think it's pretty darn good. Problem solving. What it is, people hunting for a fix to a specific problem. Now, I don't like this one that much, right? Why? Well, check it out. I'm going to put it in red. If I come over here and I say, why won't my printer connect, right? What are we met with? We're met with the AI overview right here. This is scaring a lot of people who have websites. Remember, our goal is to create a website that passively gets people coming to it so we can make money. You can make money via display ads. You can make money via selling your own product. You can make money with your own service, right? Or selling someone else's service. But when AI overview came on the scene, it took up half the screen. I mean, look how big this darn thing is when I expand it. And then we have websites, right? So people are really scared and they really shied away from this one right here, problem solving. And that makes a lot of sense to me. And the last one is research, which I'm going to blow up too. So what is it? It's people gather data, stats, or in-depth info. Think of like someone typing in 2025 home ownership rates, studies on remote work productivity, how to use it, cite authoritative sources, include charts or data, and so on. This can be folded into decision making and education, but I think this is a micro approach too, which we'll get into more. So what I think are the true winners is decision making and research. That is how we're going to win right now with this whole AI landscape, right? Pay attention. This is really important. Entertainment, I've made a lot of money in, right? But I think it's bad unless you can scale with AI cheaply. If you want to have this be your thing, if you were thinking to yourself, I'm making a website right now on entertainment, I'm going to make a lot of money, you better be using AI cheaply, right? And like I said, AI overview is eating everyone's lunch right now, but you can still consistently utilize it to rank. So let's talk about how we can build a website that actually can compete on Google right now. So we can make $100,000 a year, so $8,000 a month, and only spend about an hour a day. Now, this is for you. I want you to put this into practice quickly because a lot of people, they fall into traps, they fall into pitfalls when they think they're onto a good side hustle. They have their website, they built their website, and they're doing all the things. You're creating content with AI, and you're burning your wheels, like you're spinning them. You're going nowhere, right? And this is why right here. So I encourage you to do this. List your deep expertise and passions. So write down 5 to 10 topics you know inside or out or care passionately about. Restoring classic cars, mindful parenting, adventure travel for, your demographic. Cool, right? And that right there, your demographic matters. More on that in a bit. So the more hands-on, nuanced, or experience-driven the topic, the harder it is for AI to give a one-size-fits-all answer. This right here should be a caution to you, right? Although we can rank on AI overview nowadays, right? We can do that, right? These websites over here to the right did that. That's great. You can do that for certain niches as well, but we don't even want to compete when we don't have to, right? So make it hard. Think about things that are hard for AI to give a one size fits answer. So now, this is where the trick is. Identify underserved micro communities. So for each broad topic, we're going to zoom in. So who has questions a generic answer, a generic AI loses on? In other words, if I type in, things about these specific topics, AI will struggle because it's going to give a half-baked generic response that really stinks, right? And people are going to look further. So let's think about this. Vintage Triumph engine corks. Triumph is a type of motorcycle, I think, right? That's very specific. Parenting neurodiverse toddlers. And then number 3, backpack in Iceland, off the beaten path. My question to you is, and let's make this bigger. Which one of these 3, and I think there's a clear answer here, which one of these 3 do you think is the best, right? Here's number 1, here's number 2, and here's number 3. Which one of these queries, if you were to attack with a website, is the best? I'm going to separate them so you can see them a little bit better, right? Let's bring it back up. So I would say number 1, obviously, is this right here. This one has a lot of money behind the term. So for everything that you're passionate about, because you were supposed to write down 5 to 10 topics you know inside or out and care passionately about, out of a lot of your passion topics, you may like to do basket weaving, right? Basket weaving sounds really fun. But guess what? Not a lot of people are going to pay you money to learn about your basket weaving. And there's not a lot of volume online for people to even care about it. Keep it a passion project, and that's cool, right? But for some of your passion projects or things that you are really excited about and you know a lot about, there's going to be money behind it. And something like this right here, parenting neurodiverse toddlers, has a lot of money behind it. So does travel, right? I would say this is number 2, and this is number 3. So what we want to do is consider the 5 foundational methods, right, of deeper. If we can come up here, we'll go through it one more time. So come back up here now that we know what good topics are and what bad topics are. Decision making, right, is number 1. It's great. Education and research. What we're going to stay away from is generic half-baked problem solving when someone types into their computer and they're not looking to go deeper. And number 2 is entertainment. So you can take that and lean it up against something that's pretty hard to do for an AI. AI is going to have a hard time answering this term here. And guess what? You have to think about the demographic that you're serving. Because if someone is serious about these 2, I would say these 2 topics, what is going to happen is you know that they are pretty voracious. They are going to go down the rabbit hole. Number one, if anything happens in this, arena for someone's toddler, they're going to look at 10 websites. They're going to look at 20 websites. You see what I'm saying? They're not going to just settle for the AI overview answer, be like, cool, that's good, I got it. No. They're going to go deeper, right? So right here, they're not going to read this and be like, all right, great. No, they're going to go down Google. They're going to go on page 2. They're going to watch a YouTube video. And there's huge money here because people in this niche are willing to spend money on their problem. And same goes for this. If you're going to Iceland, I went to Iceland. It's awesome, right? And I spent a lot of money to go to Iceland. And I did a lot of research before I went. So the point is, you have to understand the different avatars of people. When you're making your website, when you're making your content, are you just doing generic content that makes you feel good, which is cool? You should have those type of websites that you can get your feelings out. But where the money is the intersection of money. And that is largely due to purchase intent, which is decision making when someone's looking at a best laptop under $1,000, right? When someone's educating themselves towards that laptop, and when someone's doing deep research. And use these type of concepts right here, pause the video, and you will understand how to make $100,000 per year with only 1 hour of work per day. And I appreciate you watching the video this far. If you want to take it a step further, join the Rank Expand Academy. This is where you can ask questions. I have weekly calls. I'm in here every single day with the community talking, helping people through this whole process. This video was meant to be a very realistic look on what most people screw up on. Most people really mix up on what their niche should be, right? What they should actually be writing content about. So I hope to see you in the Rank Expand Academy. Please subscribe, and thanks for watching.